So it looks like I may have some good news coming from Aspyr, who of course is the developer on the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection. And they just posted this on their blog. They said Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection Update 1 patch notes. And this comes from Aspyr Joe, who goes on to say Update 1 is available now for Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection on Steam. We are in the submission and certification process for PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo, and will release Update 1 on those platforms as soon as that process completes. We're continuing to make server-side adjustments to improve the online multiplayer experience, as well as planning for Update 2. Please continue to report bugs, errors, or unexpected behaviors to our support team via our support forum. So I'm going to go over all of the patch notes in this update. Now, one of the most notable things that Aspyr Joe did say is he said we are continuing to make server-side adjustments to improve the online multiplayer experience. Now, also, the most notable things with Update 1, besides the server adjustments and the improvements on the multiplayer end, is these fixes right here. So they are going to fix the invert y-axis option to be visible, and then they have a fix for the options for flip x-axis and swap LS and RS to be unhidden. So apparently these inverted options were hidden the whole time, and all they had to do was make them visible. So that's actually pretty funny, but it looks like that's going to be included in Update 1, which is good news. Now, also, the audio sound for the Battlefront 1 loading screen will be fixed in this Update 1 as well. So it says fixed the Battlefront 1 loading screen sounds. And again, I don't know how they screwed this up, but it's good that they are fixing that, because as we all know, that's an iconic loading sound for sure. Now, there's a bunch of other patch notes in here. We have the full change list here, which starts off with the multiplayer where they fixed a crash related to client message sends. And then it goes on. I'm not going to read over everything here. So if you want to hit pause on this video and read over all of these different bullet points here for these fixes, you can. They also listed a bunch of other fixes right here for the visuals as well. So the visuals have been fixed as well, with many of the problematic graphical glitches that may have been happening on many of the UI elements and the many of the maps. So you can read over all of these. I'm not going to read over it, but if you want to hit pause again on the visuals part, you'll see that there's many different fixes there as well. And then we also have fixes for Hero Assault, where they rebalanced Ventress's abilities, and then also fixed Kit Fisto lightsabers animations, and then also his force powers, where it says to no longer remain stuck to the client in multiplayer. So they fixed those elements with Kit Fisto as well. And then finally, the patch notes wrap up with other notable bug fixes. So they added these in there as well. Now, I don't see many things related to the controls. This is another thing that I think really needs to be looked at, especially on consoles with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox. So I played on the PlayStation 5, and I've experienced some really weird sensitivity issues with the controls on PlayStation 5. So for instance, when I zoom in with my controls, it'll all of a sudden be super high sensitivity, and it'll be very difficult to control my aim. So it's very inconsistent with the sensitivity on the PlayStation 5. I'm not sure exactly why this is happening. It appears to be something related to the Y-axis as well with the controller. And then on top of that, we got to talk about the sensitivity settings in of itself. So if you set the sensitivity to all the way high, to 10 out of 10 on the PlayStation 5, it's still way too slow. Because if you set to 10 of 10, it feels like you're on medium sensitivity, or kind of like slow medium sensitivity. So I think they need to definitely adjust these settings so that 10 of 10 sensitivity feels super fast, because right now 10 of 10 sensitivity feels like 5 out of 10 to me. So let me know your comments on this if you feel the same about this. I've seen many people complain about the sensitivity on console, so I'm hoping in update 2, patch 2, that they actually resolve the sensitivity issues, the dramatic differences in sensitivity when you zoom in. Sometimes it feels good, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it will just be completely whack and all out of control. So hopefully they fix these issues as well. Now, I'm going to go over your top comments from the previous video, starting off with Connor Murphy, who says, I'm over this launch it, broken, fix it later industry. We aren't the testers for them to fix these issues at launch. Not our job. Our job is to give feedback on issues after day one launch. So I do see what he's saying there, where this mentality of just launch it and then fix it later has got to stop. Yes, I am thankful that they are actually addressing these issues, that they're fixing them, but, you know, it sucks. Like, why are they not fixing these issues before launch? And honestly, I shouldn't even be thankful. I shouldn't even be using that word. Like, why would I be thankful for this? They should have had this stuff fixed at launch where we don't have these issues. Now, of course, games, they will still have problems at launch. I don't expect a game to launch absolutely perfectly. I think that is very unrealistic. But with the bugs and issues that we've all been experiencing, they're very obvious. They're bugs and issues that should have been fixed before launch. We all know this, and we all know that this game launched with bugs that should not have been there in the first place. So that's why I'm saying that. Now, this comment comes from Darth Vader GameCat, who says, it isn't just server issues, though. Audio issues, texture issues, private match selection, not even being available to select. I have this awful audio bug that inverts where I'm hearing sound coming from, so they're having some issues. Now, obviously, some of these audio issues, like with the loading sound with Battlefront 1, have been addressed in this first update. So hopefully with the second update, they continue to fix these issues. Now, I'm hoping that that loud sound that we all get randomly is also fixed. I don't know if the patch notes mention that in the first thing or not. Let's see. For audio, did that mention that super loud sound? I don't think it was mentioned. It might be with the fixed an issue where the audio outputs would reverse, or maybe that's what they were talking about in that second comment there, where they said it inverts. So it looks like that may actually be fixed in this patch 1 update. So that's good news. We'll have to see if the super loud, obnoxious sound is also fixed as well. But at least they are fixing it, I guess. I mean, I'm trying to be positive here. Now, this comment comes from Consumptive Soul, who says, I hope they bring back the old loading sounds for Battlefront 1. So that issue has been fixed. So all of these issues some of these issues, I should say, that people have been mentioning in the comments have actually been addressed in patch 1. So this is good news. And, hopefully we continue to see patch 2, patch 3, and patch 4, because I think it's going to need a lot more patches. And again, they did say in that initial post here that they are continuing to make server-side adjustments. So they didn't really mention that in the actual bullet points. They mentioned it more so in this initial paragraph. So I'm going to be paying attention to see if the ping is better, if the hit detection is better. I did notice that I did have 2 matches, I think it was last night, that were actually a bit better. I did see some improvements, but then I was thrown into a match where the hit detection was all over the place. So it's definitely a mixed bag of results for me with the server ping, with the hit detection. So let me know how your experience has been as well in the comments down below. And I'll keep you up to date on what Aspire has to say about patch 2 as well, which they will be revealing in the near future. But stay tuned for that patch 2 release on the consoles, and then patch 1, of course, is releasing on Steam right now. So this is very good news. So I will see you all next time. Take it easy, everyone, and may the force be with you always.